true. My name is Randall. And this is Powell, otherwise known as the Public Library. Now, I'm here to discuss with you folks why I've chosen to write this guide to crazy, nasty-ass animals. In large part, this thing is like shrinking at That's okay. These things have a mind of their own. So nasty. Oh, look, and I have a slideshow presentation for you folks. Yeah. I'm very new at this. And frankly, my assistant has been screwing me over. So last night in Santa Monica, it also rained last night. I don't know why everyone's raining on my parade. Well, people are. So it doesn't matter. You know, I thought I was in Chicago, but they told me it was Portland. So, you know, I may have some technical glitches in the slideshow, but please bear with me. But anyways, look, you know, I wrote this book because I love animals. Ever since a very early age, I've adored animals and wildlife and nature. This is the kind of book that we grew up with. My generation had, look how, like, huge and cumbersome this is. An animal. And it's just so dense, and you read through it, and it's just like, what do you know what? I said it was time for a narrator, someone involved in wildlife, to just tell it like it is. I mean, as much as I love nature and wildlife, I'm terrified of it. Seriously, there are some nasty things out there. There really are. By the way, if we could, everyone look over here, because there's a honey badger that's actually all the way from Kalahari here tonight. So if he passes out, please, he'll get up later. Don't worry about it. Too much to eat. But my mission is to, you know, I found a good recipe to just sort of try to educate and spread the love about animals. And they're innocent, they have no voices, we do. And it's a tough time in our society because obviously, you know, jobs and money, and we're worried about ourselves and families, and rightfully so. But the fact remains that we are not alone, that we do share this planet. And a lot of the animals that are in my book are either endangered or their species are threatened, with the exception of the opossum. And those American bullies. They're in the book too, they're so nasty. Holy shit, Sue. I'm trying so hard not to curse, folks. Trying so hard. But anyways, let's get into some of the animals and why they were chosen for this book. So here are some of the animals of Honey Badger Don't Care. Ew, what the hell is that? It's my guide to crazy, nasty-ass animals. And this is a honey badger. Now, by show of hands, the Randall applause, actually, no, let's do show of hands. How many people knew what a honey badger was prior to the video? You're such liars. Stupid. No one's thinking less of you. Like, you know, that's okay. Oh, I'm not Powell, I knew. No, seriously. Well, that's good that a lot of you know. But then, how many of you learned of the honey badger because of the video? Okay. And you see, that makes me so proud and happy because, frankly, there's a lot more to the honey badger in the book, as you'll find out, than meets the video. I get into their mating rituals, which is just so crazy and so bizarre. Unfortunately, a lot of the animals in this book, I have to admit, they're deadbeat fathers. A honey badger will impregnate, you know, their lover, and they have a honey badger baby, and it's like, all right, see you later, thanks, and he's gone. So then there's a single mommy honey badgerette that has to show this young cub how not to care. And basically drags it in its mouth, burrows it, puts it down, and it's like, I'll get the food, you just shut up. And then they go ahead and they get the food and they come back, you know, you're such a pain, really, here, eat the food. And the poor little honey badger learns at a very early age not to care. That's why you have to understand, it's passed on from generation to generation. They truly do not care, and why should they? Now look, here's a fierce battle between a lion and a honey badger. And what's interesting to note is that more often than not, a honey badger will win if they do indeed fight. And how do they win? And this is the only time, it's not even a curse, but they rip off their testicles. Thank you, good night. No, I'm sorry. No, but seriously, They'll do anything to win a battle. And if they have to go for the family jewels, so the lion bleeds to death and the honey badger can pick up its scraps, that's what it's going to do. It's just absolutely insane. But I'm so happy that so many people now know about this wild beast, this crazy little bastard, because their species is threatened. A lot of beekeepers have taken upon themselves to shoot them. The only way to put down a honey badger, FYI, is to shoot at point... What's so funny? It's okay. No. The only way to put down a honey badger is to shoot it point blank in the head. You can't stab it. You can't set it on fire. It'll just roll around in the sand and get okay. The only way to shoot... So that's what beekeepers are starting to do, because they're like, you know what, we're so sick of you stealing our honey, we're just going to kill you. So efforts have been made by Colleen and Keith Begg, whom graciously wrote this wonderful foreword to the book. They were the original documentarians who actually shot the video that I narrate over, and there's out there an hour-long documentary about the honey badgers, which just, it's crazy. I mean, we don't even scratch the surface, seriously. But, so they've been very instrumental in South Africa, and also honey badgers are protected in India just because their numbers are dwindling, sadly. So that's obviously why I had to include the honey badger. And then what the Friday? What is that? It's the eye. Isn't that crazy? Look at this thing. It's like Don Knotts got drunk and slept with a bat. Am I right? Look at this. What the hell is this? Look at his face. Look, are you kidding me? Look at those fingers. It's so nasty. Disgusting that is. Now, what's so funny about the eye is that, seriously, to this day, no one knows what it is. You know, it was discovered eons ago by some Frenchie walking around. He's like, ooh, eye. Eye. But still, it wasn't classified as anything. So for years, to this day, people are still debating. It's a primate. No, it's a lemur. It's a primate. It's a lemur. So it's still actually rather unclassified. And it's interesting why they're endangered. They are endangered. And here's the craziest reason of all. They live in Madagascar, and they're deemed to be the messengers of the Grim Reaper. Okay? So an eye will walk into a village, just be like, hey, what's up? And they point their long middle finger at someone, and that means you're gonna die. No joke. That's what the people of Madagascar believe. And so they've been killing them. They're like, we gotta get rid of these little Satan things, primates, whatever they are. And they have. They've been killing them off, and it's just absolutely terrible. It's based upon superstition. And it's crazy. And they use those long fingers, incidentally, to dig in and eat insects, and it's crazy nasty. Now look, this will give you better insight into their habitat. Oh no, look, screws everything up, that Chrissy. This is Little Grumpy Pants, otherwise known as a Solnodon. Any of you aware of this little grumpy pants over here? Has anyone ever seen one? I'll tell you why they're so grumpy. A, they're endangered because around colonial times, Asian mongoose, or is it mongooses? Mongooses were brought in to kill all the rodents and snakes. And so they wiped out a good lot of these Solnodons. So that's one reason to be grumpy. Another one is, hello, the mothers have teeth on their ass. Yeah. Okay? Isn't that crazy? Their teeth are on their tuchus. Hey, Mom, I need some milk. Suck my ass. Oh, thank you, Mom. How nutritious your milk is from your ass teeth. I'm not making this up. Another reason that they're so grumpy is because they've actually been around on this planet for over 30 million years. And they're venomous. I don't think they want to be venomous, but they're venomous. They have venomous saliva, and it's stored in their teeth, and it helps them bite into prey, and it's just absolutely nasty. They're crazy, and they're grumpy, and they have every right to be, but if you look at their environment, you'll... What is this? I'm so sorry. See what I'm talking about? I asked him to remove that. What is that? Like, who is that? Like, who the hell is that? Why did he do this? Wait a second. Derek Estrada. Derek Estrada. No reason. So sorry. This is Mustachius drumi, otherwise known as the Emperor Cimarron. Now, these little primates are absolutely obsessed with grooming themselves, as you can see. They have these mustaches. The reason why, he's like, what are you looking at? And the reason why they got their name is because they resemble the last Emperor of Germany and the King of Prussia, what was it?
Wilhelm.
Yes, Wilhelm II. Yeah, and he kind of looks like that. It looks these little guys look just like that emperor. It's crazy. But you're not, but get ready for this. Hold on to your seat. Look how precious. Look how precious. They love one another. And here's the fun part. They're kind of like hippies. What they do is they get into communes where they have about, 5 or 6 lovers, and they have babies, and they all take care of one another's babies. Look how precious that is. It's absolutely amazing. What? And they eat grapes. I was supposed to say they eat grapes, but look at this. They give me this picture of grapes. What is this? I'm so sorry. I don't know why, but this is interesting. Look. I don't understand. Believe me, my assistant's fired. It's doing take it back. Gargoyle-y hellcats, the opossum. Now, how many have come face to face with these nasty critters, right? I'm sorry, but unless you're a cat or you're watching really bad theater, there's no reason to hiss. And they hiss. And that terrifies me. Of all the animals in this book, this one terrifies me the most. I had an experience when I was a child. They said, go up into the attic and get, your great-great-great-grandpa's snuff box. What an odd request. Go to the attic. Anyway, so I wrote the whole story. So I go up there, and I encountered one of these things, and it just looked at me and hissed. And I was like, oh, what do I do? I didn't know what to do. It could lunge. But ultimately, they don't do anything. They just, they actually start playing opossum, because if they're afraid of you, they drop dead, right? But apparently, it wasn't, scared of me, so it just hissed at me. Anyways, they flourish. They are obviously not endangered. They tend to be a problem, and they're a bit crazy. And it's just, again with the grapes. They eat grapes. Why did someone put toast on this dog's head? What's making hats for guinea pigs? All right, listen, I'm so sorry. We'll just end it there. The slideshow's all messed up. What I would like to do is open up the floor to some Q&A. How does that sound? Any Q&A? Okay, but here's the thing. If you ask me a question, I'll answer it, but then I'm going to ask you a question. Is that okay? Okay, thank you. Who has any questions? Yes, right there.
Okay, if you could have a wild animal as a pet, and it was okay, what would you choose?
In other words, so I wouldn't get in trouble, right. Peter wouldn't be knocking at my door.
It wouldn't rip you apart. It would be like a normal domesticated pet.
A sloth. Low maintenance, very slow. I just feed it leaves and branches. Low maintenance, definitely a sloth.
Good choice.
Oh, see, that's a sign. That means they should have a sloth. And my question to you is, what is the first animal you can recall seeing in the history of your life? The first animal you laid eyes upon?
A hamster.
Good answer. I love that. I love that question. Good answer with the hamster. Yes.
Have you ever encountered the elusive jackalope of Montana?
Who the hell is that? Elusive jackalope?
Yeah.
What's a jackalope?
It's right there.
This one? It's like a... Oh my gosh, that's just crazy. That's not real, is it?
It's real. No.
Are you telling me they're cloning these things or something? Is that what they're doing? They're designing these... I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, cloning and all that jazz, like if I could bring back some of my animals of the past, I would absolutely love to. I think it'd be a little weird, and obviously it's like a moral issue, but boy, there are some pets I would love to have back. Little Ray Ray, my parakeet when I was little. But this is crazy. So you could probably tell me more about them than I know. Where do they live again?
Montana, Flathead Indian Reservation.
You're being serial. Holy cow, well, thank you. I'm going to have to look into that. That is crazy. And my question to you is, how long have you been working with the jack apples? Have you ever encountered a jack apple? In the early 90s you did? And do they look like that?
They do. They're bigger.
And they hop?
They hop.
With antlers? All right, come on, another question. Please, that's scary. Yes?
Hi, could you tell us how the book happened? Did they just watch your video and call you up, or how did that happen?
I wish I could say rather that it was that easy. What had happened was the video came out, and then I was just flooded with a lot of different things, a lot of different offers. Do this, do that. And I teamed up with a book agent, and he said, I think that what you're trying to do with the videos could really translate to books. And I said, I agree, but I'd like to keep it salty. I mean, I'm terrified of nature. I think what I'm trying to do is basically speak on behalf of it. I never understood when you watch an animal life, documentary, how they keep their cool. They watch the craziest stuff, and they're just like, and that's the way it is. And it's just like, are you kidding me? That's so disgusting. So I felt that, obviously Andrews McMeel felt there was room, the publisher, for something like this. I think they're great publishers. I think that they also put out 5 Reasons to Punch a Dolphin in the Mouth, which is a book you can get. It's absolutely offensive. I mean, I would never want to punch a dolphin in the mouth, but this book makes a pretty good argument that they're not nice. That they should be punched. But so the idea for the book had always been brewing in my head somehow, because as I said, it was enough of this, and the opportunity just seemed right for this. And to me, I'd rather focus and put my energy in doing a book first than hop on TV and, blank my father says and all these other people on the internet. It's great. I mean, we live in a society now where you can do things on the internet and get heard, and then projects are developed. But to me, nothing beats reading a book. And my question to you is, what was the first book you can remember reading? On your own, not being read to by your parents.
Probably one fish, two fish, one fish.
God bless doctors too. That's bad. That's what you can remember.
I'm guessing.
I think mine was like Zen in the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance. Seriously, I can't remember farther back. Are you still awake?
Yeah. Actually, I have a question.
Yeah, honey badger.
Yeah.
This is so surreal. It's so crazy. It's freaking me out.
How do sub-Saharan honey badgers thermoregulate? Because the Pacific Northwest subspecies seems to have a fairly large problem with that.
Does anyone else have any other questions? Actually, to point out something, he raises a good point. Well, he didn't mean to raise it, he inadvertently did it. But, honey badgers are very smart. This is a good segue. The honey badger uses its paws and rocks and various branches as tools. They're one of the few animals out there to do that. And, FYI, they're related to the wolverine. Did you folks know that? So can you imagine that family reunion? How nasty is that? Hey, how's it going, honey badger? Good, Wolverine. Hey, let's eat some elephant ass. Great! To answer your question, I think it's a lot of thermal underwear. It depends on the altitude. If we're talking below a certain threshold of the quadrant, I'm so sorry. I did my best. I'm so sorry. Here's my question to you. Why do you run backwards? Seal is like one of the only animals I know that runs backwards. How crazy is that? Any other questions? Yes.
What was the curriculum like for exotic animals and management at Moore Park College?
I dropped out after about 2 months. It was really difficult. I also dropped out of St. Olaf. I went there for a bit. I was studying theater. Just so you folks know, prior to all this, I really had a dream of just being the next Lansford Wilson or Tennessee Williams. My heart was into playwriting and theater. And I started studying that. It didn't work. I went back to New York. And then when I went to California, I joined that program, and it was just too mind-numbing. I just wanted, it wasn't for me, you know, and it's a shame. I've always wanted to do something with animals in some way, considering my background and just being exposed to them and having such a deep affinity and love for them. But I'm not a zoologist, I'm not a veterinarian, and I couldn't do it. My question to you is, why'd you have to make me feel so bad? Well, no, it's okay. I'm okay. Yeah.
I appreciate that, because you just told us all about your little history there, and I just don't really have a question, but I just wanted to, congratulate you for finding your love life,
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This really, it really means the world to me. I'm hoping, books and any sort of things and projects that come from this, it's great. But for me, I'm thinking longer term, and I really do want to try and do something for animals, which is why I had a limited edition of those talking honey badger dolls. I wanted those. What was that about? It was limited edition. I wanted to give Animals Asia the money as quickly as I could. A good percentage of proceeds went to help and bear farms in China, which is just absolutely disgusting. And ultimately, with more projects like this, I want to be like Betty White and Ellen DeGeneres. These people are putting their money where their mouth is, and that's all I want to do. Like, when I plug, it's so annoying. It's just like you plug an app and people are like, oh, sellout. And it's like, I just really want to pay the rent and help animals who need it, because animals are innocent. They have no one else speaking for them. And we're living at a time when no one really gives a shit about animals right now. Let's face it, come November, all hell's going to break loose. It's going to be, who knows who it's going to be at this point, right? Against Obama, but I don't want to go there. I'm not going to get political. Just a suggestion, you can vote for neither party. You could vote for the Honey Badger Party. Right? For the Honey Badger Party, Thomas Jefferson said if at any point the people of our country get upset with the way government's run, they can level it and start anew. So, I don't know who the person, maybe Steve Colbert would be a good Honey Badger. I think, but thank you so much. That means a lot to me. All I really want to do is just try my best to help wildlife and animals. And my question to you is, why do you smell so good tonight? I said hello to you over there, and you smell so good. You always smell, let me rephrase the question. Do you always smell that good?
You said it was Portland musk, right?
Well, that was my response. I'm wearing Portland musk, but you smell nice too. I'm sorry, everyone. That has nothing to do with anything. I'm so sorry. Forgive me, please. Yes.
So on that same theme, where do you think is the best place for us to put our money to help animals? Do you have a recommendation?
The World Wildlife Foundation is always a great place. To me, Animals Asia right now is just, it means the world to me. It really means everything to me, because what they're doing is so, in the same way that people in Madagascar are ruthlessly killing aye-ayes because of superstition, same thing is happening in China, where they feel, let's capture these bears, keep them in tiny cages, we'll jab tubes in their stomach, extract the bile, and it'll cure our cancer and HIV or whatever else. And it's not true. It's just scientifically not true. So there are a lot of farms out there where it's just cage upon cage of bears, and it just really upsets me. So that, and you can always find a great cause on the World Wildlife Foundation. To me, anything that you can do for any animal, even if it's in our own country, is going to be beneficial. You know, to me, the desert elephant, their numbers are dwindling. There are great programs where you can go out to Africa and track the elephants and just, you know, study their migration. Anything to get involved in that sort of way, I think, is really beneficial because, I hate to say it, but could you imagine 20 years from now explaining to someone young why there are no more elephants or lions, for that matter? I mean, it's insane.